Sweet. What's up, everybody? Doing another live Q&A because I got a lot of questions that came through after I did the other Q&A earlier this week. Yeah, just going to wait for some people to hop on today. But on Friday, we released our brand new full-length record, Frantic, which is now streaming everywhere. If you want to check that out, it's available, on all your major platforms. We also have CDs and then vinyl records available on our website. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting summer for us. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. But before I get started into the questions, we'll just wait for a few more people to hop on. Like I said, I went through the email and noticed there was a lot of questions that came through after. I guess people might have watched the live stream after it actually happened. But that's all right. That's why we can do this. Hey, Six Banga, how's it going? Good to hear from you. Thanks for hopping on the live stream here. But yeah, it's awesome. I got my guitar here. This is my SG. It's on the album cover. It's pretty sweet, but this thing's great. Cool, man. Yeah, just enjoying another nice weekend. Beautiful day here in Nashville in Tennessee. But yeah, if anybody watching has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them live. I do have a list here of questions that people emailed in. They emailed in on our website and on our contact form, www.semi-supervillains.com. You can reach me that way with a question. I got it pulled up on the email right over here. Or you can just drop a question in the comments. If it's not too crazy, I'll get to it there. But, that's the nature of it. Oh man, did we get an email already? No, it's just spam email. Who sends spam on a Sunday afternoon? All right, cool. Well, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started here. For those of you that are tuned in now, we're going to answer some questions that came through from our website. Let's see here. And again, we're doing this question and answer in honor of our new album that just came out on, whoops, there goes the CD. It came out on Friday, but it's called Frantic. Here it is. It's a cool new album. Check it out if you haven't listened to it yet. Let me know what your favorite song is, because I want to know what song you like. It's a little bit different than on our last record, but yeah, we're excited for the live Q&A here. So, all right, Steve from New Jersey asks question: what is your favorite guitar? Rickenbacker, Gibson, Fender? ? Well, Steve, I'm a huge Gibson fan and Rickenbacker as well. I also play Fenders and then Gretsch guitars. Those are probably the four main brands of guitars that I do like, and I came prepared for your question because I have my SG that you just saw me holding, but then I also have my Rickenbacker over here too. But yeah, that SG and this Rickenbacker here were probably the two main guitars that I used on Frantic. Everybody, Gibsons are great, but Rickenbackers I think are underappreciated. I mean, obviously like the Beatles use these things, but probably most famously known for being great rhythm guitars, just for their sound. And I do use it in a rhythm sense for a lot of the songs too, but I know for the song Frantic, all of the guitar you hear on that song, which is the title track for the album, is this Rickenbacker. Lead tones, rhythm tones. I think there's some Gretsch. I used a Gretsch on that one too, but yeah, it's Rickenbacker and Gretsch. It's really unique lead sounds. Also, what else uses the Rickenbacker? Never Gonna Love You. It's the Rickenbacker. I used the stereo output on these Rickenbackers. They're super unique because you can get a stereo output. I did a video on that a while back on the channel. You can check that out. But basically, the stereo output takes the two pickups and lets you run them selectively with this toggle switch, so you can kind of blend from your guitar, which is really cool in like a live setting, just to have that all the electronics built in. But I use this feature on the guitar in a recording sense to do the song Never Gonna Love You, which is that cool. That's a little preview of what the song sounds like. But yeah, that's the Rickenbacker. And then also Living Stereo was, I also used the Rickenbacker too. But yeah, so those are probably my two main guitars that I've been playing lately, is the Rickenbacker and then that SG I just played. And then for those of you who just joined the live stream, I'll pull this sweet SG out again. But this is my 1961 SG Junior. I got it about 5 or 6 years ago. This thing is as old as my dad. But yeah, this thing's a great guitar. It's been a great guitar for me. It's a really nice piece, and it comes from that golden era of Gibson in the late 50s, early 60s, when all the guitars were just awesome, American made, and wherever they made them. So that's the other guitar that I have really been digging lately for the past couple of years. But cool, yeah, Steve from New Jersey, thanks again for the question. Love the appreciation for guitars, because I am a guitar fanatic for sure. Guitar is my favorite instrument, my strongest instrument that I play. And the stuff that I like to do the best is always on the guitar, and the music that I listen to is also guitar music. All right, Kyle from Louisville, Kentucky. Who is your biggest influence as a singer? Dang, that's also a good question, man. I'll give you my top 5 singers that I look up to. It's got to be Bon Scott. They're all classic rock guys. Bon Scott, Lennon, McCartney. So that's 3. See, we'll go Robert Plant, because, I mean, how can you not love Robert Plant? And then number 5, I'll throw in an oddball, Noddy Holder from the band Slade. But those are my top 5 singers that I've looked up to since, growing up. I guess, yeah, I'll classic rock. I'm a classic rock guy. So those are the people that have the most influence on me, just for who I model my voice after, or try to kind of reach that, their kind of sound. That's the style that I like the best. But yeah, those are my top 5 vocal questions. Okay, Six Banga asks in the comments, how did you become friends with Diesel Creek? So he's referring to Matt, the YouTuber Diesel Creek. So Matt and I have been friends since high school. We met, we went to 4 years of high school together, and I sat behind him in homeroom, and we really hit it off, freshman or sophomore year, and we've been good friends ever since. So, but yeah, Matt's always been asking me to make music for his channel. And then in 2018, I finally got saved up enough money and bought decent enough recording equipment that I was able to create songs for him. So I started him out with 5 songs, and then just kind of made songs here and there. And then his channel kind of took off, and just it continued making songs. I think I've made up to 50 or 60 songs for Diesel Creek that are all instrumental that you hear exclusively on Diesel Creek. So yeah, thanks Six Banger for that question. Sweet, thanks so much for answering. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, cool. All right, sweet. Yeah, good question. But yeah, Matt and I was with them last weekend. I try to visit him every time I go home. Him and then one of my other best friends, Tony Marino. We have all been great friends since childhood, and we've really stuck together. And since I've moved to Nashville, I'm kind of here on an island on my own. All my friends are back home, but I do have a nice group of friends down here that I've met since moving to Nashville in 2019. But cool. All right, next question. We got this one from Rick out in Dayton, Ohio. Came in from our website. He emailed after we did the first Q&A. So again, this is part 2 of the Q&A. You can go rewatch part 1. Have some good conversations with people on that too. But Rick says, are you going to get any merch made to have for sale? T-shirts, trucker hats, etc. Well, I'm a one-man operation, and I do all the shipping of the CDs and the records myself. T-shirts are a little bit difficult because you have to keep a stock and inventory of the sizes. I am wearing one actually right now. I did that intentionally, but I have these sweet T-shirts there for sale on the website. I don't have very many left. If you do want one, just send an email just to make sure I have your right size. But these are pretty cool. I think trucker hats is something I might look into as well, just because hats are nice and they're easy, because they're all pretty much one size if they're adjustable. But yeah, if you think you'd ever want like a T-shirt or a specific type of merch item, let me know. I can't guarantee I'll make it because I'm more of in the making music business, not as much making and selling T-shirts. But it is cool to have a nice T-shirt every once in a while. So there'll be limited runs. I never order more than like 30 or 40 T-shirts at a time, just because I don't have a place to store it in my house. But Rick from Dayton, thanks again for the question. Cool. All right, yeah, and if anybody's out in the chat and they have a question about anything, I'm more than happy to answer. We're here doing a Q&A part 2 because I missed some of the questions from part 1 because they came through after we were done doing the live Q&A. But doing this in honor of our new record, Frantic, that just came out this past Friday. Some of you may or may not know, Frantic is now available on our website on this cool limited first edition pressing orange vinyl. So the first edition, the first 300 copies are all in orange, and after those sell out, we'll get it repressed on just a standard black vinyl. So if you want to get one of the first pressings, they will be on this cool translucent orange. And I say translucent because it's like kind of see-through, so you can see, like there's our little pin logo there. So pretty neat stuff to have a vinyl record. Honestly, I've been for the past 10 years, I've been wanting to put a record out on vinyl. This is our 3rd full-length album. We have Tricks that came out in 2013, Play That Rock and Roll that came out last year, and then a bunch of EPs and singles that came out in between. But this is our first vinyl record album. The other ones are available on CD. We do have those in print as well, available on our websites. So, but yeah, thanks for the question, Rick, about the merchandise. All right, cool. We got a question from across the pond here. Brian from London. I'm going to guess that's London, England. Maybe London, Ontario. I'm not sure. But he didn't specify. And his question is, are you guys signed to a record label? No, we are not signed to a record label. This is all an independent adventure, my business venture. And everything you see here is something that we've created myself or with help from the band or our group of people that help us out. We have my buddy Devin Moses. He helps out with photography. My friend Ben from Pittsburgh, he helps with the graphic design. He does a nice job on all this type of stuff. And then Rick Wachowski, producer for the album, based out of Wheaton, West Virginia, Studio L. Huge supporter of us since day one, really. But yeah, that's we are independent. We don't have any record label, any managers, any sort of booking agents, anything like that. So when we're playing a show, that means I booked it, I emailed them to get it. When we have a write-up in an article, that means I talked to the newspaper directly and interviewed with them. But yeah, there's nobody helping us. In the future, yes, I'm certainly looking for a record label or some help, just because it's starting to get too much that I can't handle it all myself, just because, whenever you're having to do tons of, I want to call it like office work, it takes away from the time that I get to be spending like writing music and playing music. So anybody that listens to the music, that's ultimately what you want to hear, is just the music. But in order to continue making music, you have to be good at marketing yourself. So that's what I've been striving to do. But again, no record label to help us out. I've never really seriously looked, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how that works anymore with how it's not like back in the 70s where you mail your demo to Capitol Records and they fly you out there and sign you. It doesn't work that way, especially in the rock kind of world. But cool. Yeah, great question, Brian. Appreciate that. All right, let's see here. We got another question here on the list. James from Philly. Any more test pressings for sale? Good question, James. So for those of you that don't know what a test pressing is a vinyl record. Usually they give you from a vinyl pressing plant. Whenever they're like your artist proofs. So the vinyl pressing plant will send like the artist or the record label these 5 records that are black and plain to kind of listen to and approve or deny to make sure the record sounds good before they produce the whole run of records. So obviously they're going to test a couple of copies of records before they press 300 to 500 of these. So they send the artist the proof, and then the artist listens to them. They can approve or deny. In our case, we approved them. They sounded fantastic. Give a shout out to the Vinyl Lab based here in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we got our records pressed. They are a locally owned vinyl pressing plant that just opened up. They're about 10 minutes from my house here in Nashville. And but yeah, they did a great job. But anyway, they sent me 5 test pressings. And I sold one of those the other day because it was our release day. And I put it up on the website for sale. It sold immediately. So James is asking if we were going to have any more for sale. Because there's only 5 of them, I want to keep one for myself. I gave one to our producer, Rick, and then I gave one to my dad, and I sold one. So that means there's only one left. I might be putting that for sale. If there's somebody that's interested in it, let me know. I think I sold the one the other day for $60. So I don't think I'd sell it for less than that. But I'm going to say a big maybe there. On that. But yeah, thanks, James, for your interest in test pressings or whatever. We appreciate you. But yeah, certainly pick up a first edition copy on Translucent Orange, because those are certainly available. And although not as rare as a test pressing, limited to 300 of these, it will be maybe someday it could be worth some money. Who knows? Or it could be worth nothing, or a coaster someday. It all depends. It's all relative what people are willing to pay. But I've seen test pressings go for sale on Discogs for up to $200. For just like indie bands and stuff. I couldn't imagine like a test pressing for a major artist would go for it. I mean, they're probably not even available for sale, but if they are, they probably go for thousands of dollars, just because that's a very rare and valuable type of item. But yeah, again, James from Philadelphia, PA, appreciate that question. Cool. Those are all the questions I pulled from the website. If there's anybody watching that has questions, feel free to drop those out in the comments. Just want to say what's up to anybody watching out there. I think we got some people on right now. Again, this is part 2. Part 1 was pretty cool. We had a bunch of people chatting the whole time. Advertised that a little bit. Well, this is kind of like more of a random thing I decided to do. But yeah, super fun stuff. I will say the whole YouTube thing has been pretty cool since starting doing that like more seriously. Obviously, I started putting more time and effort into YouTube whenever Matt and Diesel Creek's channel started blowing up, just because there was more of an audience there. But yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. We're able to the internet's a really interesting place because you're able to connect with people all over the world. So far with this new album, Frantic, we've sent it all over the world. I mailed a copy to Norway, Costa Rica, literally everywhere. Like New Zealand, people are ordering CDs in New Zealand. That's amazing. And ultimately someday I'd like to go on a European tour, an Australian tour, which I want to say that's a realistic goal. I mean, like a realistic 3 to 5 year goal is to have a tour across the pond. So that's what we're working towards right now. You can catch us live this summer. We're playing a ton of places in the United States, starting with July 2nd, we're playing at Club Cafe in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for our record release party part 2. We're doing one for our back home friends and family there. And then we're going to be in Cleveland and Weirton, and then we'll be back in Pittsburgh, and then some other cities we're going to be announcing here pretty soon too. So keep an eye on our website, social media, and everything for that. So, all right, cool. We got some more questions. So Six Banga says, what inspired you to become a musician? That's a good question. Thanks for that one. I would say I've always played piano. My parents made me go to piano lessons starting at age 4, and I did that to about age 16 or 17. And I picked up playing the guitar at 12. And I would say around 12 is when I really wanted to be, maybe younger than 12. No, I was 12, 6th grade. That's when I really wanted to be a musician, just because, I had been around Rick Wachowski with his bands Crack the Sky and the B.E. Taylor Group all the time. And those are, I would say Rick was probably my biggest influence, and then just obviously always listening to bands like the Beatles and AC/DC, and just seeing how they, were received and how they played live. I don't know. That's probably what inspired me the most, because I just wanted to do that, just play music and sing songs. So, but yeah, thanks for the question. And then we're coming to the Northeast coast. We don't have any tour dates in the Northeast coast. I'm thinking like you're probably referring to New England area. Is that but Northeast, as far Northeast will be as Pittsburgh and Cleveland as of right now. We're working on potentially getting some more shows, across Pennsylvania, maybe up in New York too. But that's New England. No, we don't have anything in New England scheduled as of right now. But I would love to come to Boston. I do have some cousins in Boston, in Everett and Saugus. So that's definitely on our short list of places to play. Just with being an Italian American, I love Boston and just the whole Northeast. It's beautiful. But I guarantee you, if we're coming to the Northeast, we're coming there in the summer. I moved to Nashville partly for music, for being a great music city, but also partly for getting away from the cold and the snow, because I can't stand the snow and the cold. I like hot weather all the time, and Tennessee is just perfect weather. So that's just, from on a personal level, that's why I like Tennessee a lot. Looking for that to happen. All right, yeah. Well, you got it in me in the you put it in the idea in my head now, so it's gonna happen now. Cool. All right, I know my friends' bands. They just went to Boston and New York, so they I'll have to ask them to see where they played and if they liked it there. So let Isaac from the Weird Sisters, I'm gonna be giving him a call here after this to see what his experiences were. I think he was up there over the weekend. Actually, he was there in Rhode Island. Yeah, planting the seed. There you go. Cool. All right, John Ward. Hey, Vinny, what was the inspiration for the music video Living Stereo? I also might be interested in the test pressing. Oh, cool. Thanks, John. So Living Stereo, the inspiration for the music video was actually, so go back onto our YouTube channel and type in Living Stereo Instrumental. And you're going to find an old 1950s commercial that we did, or you could just type in Living Stereo on the internet, and you will find an old 1950s commercial where there's a guy, like this nerdy bald guy with glasses, and he's just explaining RCA Victor's Living Stereo, and he has like a phonograph and like how it's like the first commercial for stereo sound. And basically, I took that video and I edited it into kind of like a weird video for our instrumental song, Living Stereo. I talked to our video director and our producer for the video, Gerard Hadley, and then Matthew Harder in reverse order. But those guys, I talked to them and I explained to them, I was like, hey, this is what I want. And Matthew, he told me, ever since I heard the instrumental version of Living Stereo, I wanted to do a music video for that. And I'm so glad you reached out to me for that. So we did it here in my living room. I actually show you here really quick where we did the music video, but that's my living room right there. You might recognize the couch. And here, I'll take you over to the TV real quick, John. I hope you're still watching. But yeah, we had Johnny sit down on the couch here for that. So, and then we had, this is my regular TV, but then we had this was the TV that we looked for, but this is actually my TV. It lives here in my living room. So we did that for Johnny's scenes. And then for my scenes, we went over to a studio to do that. But yeah, thanks, John. That's actually a really great question. I'm glad you appreciate the music video. But yeah, that's cool stuff. Great question. And then Lawrence Taylor. I have a few first pressings from the 60s and the 70s, and they have become a good investment. Not that I want to sell, so Frantic will be a welcome addition to my collection. Oh man, we might have a bidding war for the test pressing. That's cool. Yeah. Lawrence? What test pressings do you have from the 50s and the 60s? I'm curious now. What like bands or artists did you grab copies from that? I'm also I'm not sure if so for the Vinyl Lab, they pressed our record. I'm pretty sure that test pressings only come with the first pressings, because I don't think they would do test pressings again after they've already pressed the record, because the electro plates have already been approved. I would just say, hey, I need you to press another 500 copies on black vinyl, and then they would just probably, I'll have to ask them actually. That's a good question. I don't know if anybody knows. That's a pretty specific question to be asking YouTube, but I don't know if you would get more test pressings for a second pressing, or it would just be that, I don't know. Definitely for a remaster you would, but I'm not going to remaster this record anytime soon. It sounds great. Cool. I got 100 on Frantic. Oh man, We might be starting a bidding war here. Dang. Cool. Well, well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I do appreciate everybody that supported the record so far. Again, because we don't have a record label or anything. The cost to produce everything was like $4,000 I had to come up with myself I'm slowly chipping away at making that money back. But yeah, definitely appreciate everybody that's listened and supported so far on iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp. It's everywhere. You can literally listen everywhere. We want to do another music video, and so here was my idea for the music video. I'll talk to you guys and let me know what you think. So the song "Here Comes Trouble," which is the first song on the record. The song is pretty much, it's like a cliche story about there's a boy and a girl, and he's kind of flirting with her, and then he's fooling around with her, and then he realizes that he's fooling around with her in her parents' house, and her dad comes in at the end of the video and then just kind of like kicks him out. He's running out the house. That whole classic story. So that was my original idea. And then obviously we wanted to have Matt. We kind of wrote him in as a dad that would come in and like kick me out of the house. But then I thought like, oh, maybe that's too cliche. Maybe we'll do something different, like we're in the recording studio, and then Matt's the producer that's kind of like yelling at us to focus on recording the song, and then would have like the sexy secretary, or the alluring secretary that's kind of keeping us away from focusing on making our music. So that was our idea for Here Comes Trouble. But again, I think it's probably not the woke choice to do. It's 2023. I feel like we get some backlash on that one. I think, and it's like a cliche type of choice. But some other songs we were kind of kicking around doing a music video for were "Never Gonna Love You." I know our video producer Matthew and Gerard love that song, and I think it's probably the most well-produced song on the record. Thanks to Rick Wachowski, by the way. He produced that one. But I think that one, we're definitely kicking around ideas for that. But I'm not sure when we'd have time to film it, or if it would be this summer or in the fall. But let me know if there's a specific song that you think deserves a music video from the new record. I appreciate your feedback there. But yeah, that was our idea first. So cool. John says the Living Stereo music video reminded him of Ed Sullivan's 60s nostalgia. So there's an extended version. But yeah, thank you. So is there a long extended version of the song "Play That Rock and Roll"? So follow-up question. John asks, so our song "Play That Rock and Roll," which was the title track of our record "Play That Rock and Roll" that released last year, is there an extended version? No, there's not an extended version. There's the studio recording where it just has me playing guitar, and then I play the mandolin on it too, like in the bridge, and it has like that sort of outro. And then there's a live version that we did live at Trash Band Studios, which is also available on iTunes, where we didn't have mandolin, and we had myself and then Isaac Short from the Weird Sisters do the two guitars, because there is two guitars on the song "Play That Rock and Roll." And if you don't know the song "Play That Rock and Roll," you can go listen to it. It's on Spotify, iTunes, but it's our homage to the Southern rock bands, American rock bands. But it's a Southern rock album, and that's the Southern rock title track. But yeah, good question, John. I mean, I'm sure live we might, depending on what our band is, we might play that song like an extended version live. We did play a festival last year, the Deutschtown Music Festival in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We did that last July, and we played That Rock and Roll there with an organ player, harmonica player, and then just the regular three-piece band. So that's hey Tim, how's it going? Thanks for joining in the live stream. We're just doing a Q&A here. But yeah, we're talking about the extended version of "Play That Rock and Roll." I guess short answer, no. No, we haven't done an extended version. Thanks for that, for asking that, John. Appreciate that. But yeah, that would be a good one to have, kind of like an extended type of especially if we're playing like longer or whatever. We might have to do that actually. Cool. Six Banga asks, where do you come up with all the songs you write? Hey, thanks. That's a great question. They all come from up here. Obviously, on my first full-length album, or our first full-length album that we did, Tricks, which came out in 2013, those were a lot more angsty songs, just because I wrote those songs when I was probably like ages 17 through maybe like 20. So a lot of those songs are like more boy meets girl type of songs. And then And then it got more mature with with our EP Here Comes Trouble, which we pulled a whole Houses of the Holy thing there. We have an EP that came out in 2015 called Here Comes Trouble, but then Here Comes Trouble is off our 2023 album Frantic. So I don't know if any of you picked up on that. If you did, gold star for you. But that was our probably the inspiration there was for the earlier stuff. And then obviously Play That Rock and Roll, you have songs more of just kind of like my internal feelings of working overtime. Obviously I've been working all the time, so that deserved a song. I think all of us here are probably hard workers. But that was one of the inspirations there. But yeah, I don't know. I just get ideas. I get ideas for songs, and then just growing up with the inspiration of Crack the Sky, AC/DC, those type of bands. I kind of get my interest. A lot of Crack the Sky actually. Oh man, it's actually a bidding test pressing for John. John just upped six Banga's bidding war for the test pressings. He says 125. Man, if anyone wants to outbid John, dang, that's a hefty premium. So, but yeah, thanks John for your bid there. Cool. All right. So John says that's a song that I listened to and that I could listen to for a longer period of time. And he's referring to the song Play That Rock and Roll from our 2021 album Play That Rock and Roll. I don't know how to say that better. The title track from our 2022 album Play That Rock and Roll. So yeah, John. Actually, Isaac Short from the band The Weird Sisters. You got to check them out too. They're pretty interesting. But they have their self-titled album came out in 2019. It's kind of like a blues rock thing, but then they have more interesting disco Afrobeat stuff that they're doing now. But that's Isaac's favorite song from that record too. He just loves that song. But yeah, Isaac and I, we've been a one guitar band for a long time. Occasionally I'd have a second guitar. My brother Nick, he'd play rhythm guitar. We'd do an Angus Young, Malcolm Young type of thing. That's the brothers from AC/DC. We would do that for a little while. Zach Statlander, want to give him a shout out. He would do that. He's a great guitar player too. But Isaac, he's probably one of my best friends down here in Nashville. And oh man, Six Banga ups the price to $150 for a test pressing. That's crazy. Wow, thank you guys so much. That's cool. But anyway. But what was I saying here? Man, I just lost my train of thought, actually. I'll have to go back and listen to the video. Sorry about that. Yeah, I totally just had a brain fart. But, all right, yeah, let's see. So, Lawrence Taylor, whilst not test pressings, first pressings include Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, Birth Control Operation, Jethro Tull, and King's Crimson. So, wow, first pressing. That's really cool. Very cool. Wow, and John just raised the price to $200 for a test pressing. Man, you guys are amazing supporters. I think you might get the honor of #1 fan. We'll have to. That's. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, first pressings. I know first pressing like Beatle pressings. I mean, people that have those, you could just sell that and retire. The first pressing of a Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland. I mean, I'm sure that's crazy stuff. But yeah, Lawrence, I could probably agree with you not wanting to sell those. Those are really, really cool. Something you want to pass down to. Really cool stuff. But anyway, yeah, sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. Oh man, I didn't know we had a bidding. This live stream has just turned into a bidding war for that final test pressing. So, cool. This is crazy. Yeah, so our vinyl has just been such a cool thing. Oh yeah, I was talking about Isaac and the Weird Sisters. So Isaac is the other guitar player that appears on what do you call it? Play That Rock and Roll, which is our last year's album. And we did the dueling guitar thing, the Southern rock thing, the Leonard Skinner thing, the Allman Brothers thing. That's what we wanted to do. And I should really have Isaac come on this live stream here too, man. He's such a cool guy to talk to. But him and I, we go back. We grew up. He's from Pennsylvania, right outside of Pennsylvania. But we've been playing together in bars in Pittsburgh since, I want to say, 2011, 2012. and now we both moved to Nashville, and his band is really cool. Definitely check them out. But we are we did that record, Play That Rock and Roll, kind of together, kind of not. But the song Joyride, we did dueling guitars. I had the whole thing written, and I was like, hey man, come over, let's do this Joyride thing. And then we did Lick a Toad together. We tracked those both live in the studio together. And there's actually videos deep down on our YouTube channel back from, you can find them, dueling guitar solos. But yeah, that was stuff that Isaac and I did together. And then the song Diesel Creek, which is on Play That Rock and Roll, our album, Isaac actually did all the guitars for that song. I didn't play guitar on that at all. What it was I did an acoustic Diesel Creek theme song, which is just an instrumental that I posted on YouTube, and Matt from Diesel Creek actually plays it as the outro for every single Diesel Creek video you hear. And Isaac loved that version of the song acoustically. So one morning I woke up, it was like a Sunday morning, and I woke up and Isaac had sent me just an email. He's like, I did this last night. I had a writer's block and I decided to just do a cover of your acoustic Diesel Creek theme song. And I loved it. It absolutely floored me. And I called him up immediately. I was like, dude, I love this. Let me see what I got for it. So I didn't have lyrics written for this song at that point. So I wrote the lyrics that night, and at midnight I emailed him back. So less than 24 hours either, I emailed him the version of the song that you hear now, and he loved it too. And so he didn't cut it to a metronome or anything, so it was kind of a pain to get the drums on the bass, but I emailed it to Johnny Panaccio, our bass player, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park with his Rickenbacker bass bass guitar. And that was really a cool thing too. And then Logan Compton, our drummer, he was the final touch. He did he brought his drum kit over. He had a nice Tama kit, and he played the drums on it, and then I mixed the whole thing together. But yeah, that's actually our top hit song on Spotify right now is Diesel Creek. I don't know if it's because it's named Diesel Creek and people just click on it because of the YouTube channel, or if it's a great song. I like to think a little bit of both. It's a really unique song in a sense that we had all four guys really contribute like a ton to the song. And then obviously, like that's the first song I've ever released as a Semi-Supervillains song that I wasn't playing guitar on. Actually, Play That Rock and Roll was the first song we ever had recorded that like a guitar player played leads on. I mean, I think Rick would contribute to a little bit, like a couple of licks here and there on some of our previous stuff, just because we were having fun. But yeah, that was a cool thing. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, that's the history of the living. All right, you guys got to be joking here. $900 for a record, that's insane. You guys are crazy. So Lawrence Taylor, rarely seen or low number test pressings can sell for upward of $1,000 on rare occasions when they're offered for sale. So wait and see how far this will go. Yeah, I don't know. You guys, I don't think. Wow, yeah, you guys are really music collectors. Six Banga, are you like a vinyl enthusiast or something where you have like a crazy cool collection? I'm curious, just like it's John, do you have a crazy like vinyl collection? I just got into collecting vinyl like 2 years ago, just because I don't know. You live in Nashville. And there's a bunch of great record stores here. I live right down the street from the Groove. And then there's Grimey's, which is kind of down the street, like 10 minutes, or like 5 minutes down the road, really. Okay, yeah, obviously, he has a great record collection, so that's really cool. But yeah, that's awesome that you have that. But yeah, no, I do have. I don't have any like rare pressings or anything, but the first records that I bought when Reverb was doing their whole Reverb LP thing. I don't know if you guys remember that, but they just did it for like a short period of time. Reverb is like a used instrument seller. Okay, final offer $1,500. Thank you, Six Banga. That is extremely generous offer. But anyway, so Reverb was they're sort of like they were Discogs, but they kind of like got away from that. They don't sell LPs anymore. But I went through, and during the pandemic is when I got through and really got into vinyl collecting with that. and I bought all of the Crack the Sky. I don't think they were like original press, or actually they might be. Actually, I think I've bought 3 copies of the first Crack the Sky album, and I think one of them might be an original pressing. I know 2 of them aren't, but I think the one I have is. But it was like $20, which is, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how to grade vinyl or anything like that. But then let's see here. The what do you call it? I bought all the original Crack the Sky stuff, and then I went through, and after I got all that, I started going to Grimies and stuff. Actually, let me show you something really cool that I got. So I got this last year from Grimies, and I framed it because I think it's just a really cool thing. So I have 2 records on the wall that I have framed, and I don't know if they're worth anything, but this is my Crack the Sky their first album, and I think this might be an original pressing. I don't know. If you're a Crack the Sky aficionado, let me know, but it has like the embossed like thing where it's kind of like raised, where you can feel the top there. So I'm just a huge fan of that album, and I just love the art with like the pink and the purple there. But then last year I bought this. I bought one for myself and one for my brother. This is the Black Keys Dropout Boogie. And it's their indie record store exclusive, and I think Grimies had signed copies. So this is signed by Pat and Dan. And the Black Keys are probably like one of my favorite, definitely in high school, my favorite band. Like in middle school and high school, they're my favorite band with their all the stuff that they've done. With the Black Keys, I'm a fan of. But this album, it's a great album. If you haven't listened to that, you got to. They have, I think Billy Gibbons plays on this too. Billy Gibbons actually lives in my neighborhood. I'm pretty sure in East Nashville, because there's always like sightings of Billy Gibbons here all the time at some of these bars and stuff. I have yet to like talk to him or anything, but I've heard that he's been in cool places that I frequent quite often. So excited about that. And then obviously the store Grimies, they have a ton of people that are famous that go there all the time to buy records too, just because it's such a cool record store. And the Groove is awesome too. And then the vinyl tap too. There's literally 3 record stores within a half mile from my house here in Nashville. So obviously you can't live in Nashville without a record collection, you know. Really fun stuff. So cool. John Ward, I have the first 2 Crack the Sky albums, and Rick signed both of them for me. That's awesome. So the first one is obviously this one, that's self-titled, and the second one is, so I'll go through the first 4. So that's that one. It's Animal Notes. Animal Notes. Safety Numbers is 4. What is the second one? Is it Animal Notes? I'm not sure. Lawrence Taylor. Been collecting from 1967 and lost count how many records I have. No rubbish or one-hit wonders in the collection. All right. Very cool. But yeah, I didn't realize we had so many vinyl enthusiasts that were into the music. I just personally got into collecting records myself. I'll tell you what, John and Six Bank, if you guys are serious about the records, let me know. I have 2 copies left. One's my personal copy, and then the other one is my 2 personal copies. If you want those 2, I'll sell those 2 to each of you, since you guys were both kind of into there. I think that's just let me know. I don't want to have like a bidding war or anything going on. I think you guys were throwing out some crazy numbers, so just let me know. We don't need to be crazy here, but yeah, I'll try to make everybody as happy as possible. But yeah, for that kind of money, I don't mind selling my own personal copy, just because that helps pay for the project. And obviously I'm not a huge collector, but my personal goal is to put our next record out on vinyl. Our next record, we already have recorded, completely tracked, and then Rick Wachowski is going to be doing Animal Notes. Okay, that's what I thought. Animal Notes was the second album for Crack the Sky, but Rick Wachowski is going to be doing it. We already have the single, and I think it's the best song I've ever written. We've played it at we've been playing it live actually. Whenever Tony Marino is playing with us, we do play it live. So we played the past like 3 or 4 shows. Not this most recent show, the record release. I didn't want to play any unreleased songs. We were kind of focusing on our present record. But yeah, this next album, I want to do the same thing, get it pressed to vinyl. So appreciate your guys' support with buying those test pressings. That's a huge relief off of me, just for helping to fund the whole project and just being it makes me feel comfortable about doing another one. Okay. Vin, check your email after live ends. Thank you, Six Banga. I will. Appreciate that. But yeah, very cool. So one of the cool things that I've been doing is I like to do everything by hand. I like the personal touch. So obviously when I mail something out to you, I do the whole packaging myself. For something simple like a CD, I got this cool stamper made, and I just stamp my envelopes there with the boxes, vinyl boxes. They have the stamps on them as well too. But I've been doing these postcards too. So I did these postcards, and I mailed them out to people that I know and stuff, that just say, our new album's out now, and it has the QR code where you can go stream it. So if you guys want to have a postcard sent to you, just fill out the contact form on our website with your address, and I'd like to mail you a postcard. So this is just fun stuff for me. I've really gotten into this stuff. I do a Christmas card every year too that has Semi-Supervillains, and then I do a different design each year with something fun with us wearing Christmas hats or something. So if you want to get mail, I love to do that type of stuff too, especially for anybody that's a fan of the band. That stuff's fun to me. I really do enjoy, I do talk about how much work it is marketing the record and everything, but to me, that's it's so much fun. Like, half of me wants to get a record label and just let the suits handle it, but the other half of me says, no, I like the organic way of doing this, with just getting to talk to people like one-to-one. I will tell you a really cool thing. So I saw Tim Saminsky was on the live stream a little while back. Tim, are you still out there? I don't know, but send a comment if you're still watching. But anyway, so I did one of these live streams like 2 weeks ago before the record was released. And if any of you guys were in that live stream, you may remember that somebody commented in there, say, hey, my wife was Vinnie's teacher in grade school. And I was like, what? Who is this? And then you say, oh, this is Dave and Mrs. B. Mrs. B from 8th grade is my wife. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And so then David ordered a vinyl copy for Mrs. B, and I was at home in Weirton for Memorial Day, and I was looking at the thing. And I was like, man, I haven't seen Mrs. B since I graduated the 8th grade, and I really want to see her, just because I don't know how she's doing or anything. So I decided to deliver that copy by hand, and I ended up delivering it by hand and talked with them for a good hour and a half, just catching up and everything. But it was really neat to kind of reconnect with my 8th grade teacher. She was really influential to me as just a person, artist, and a musician too. So that was cool. Hey, Guy just entered the chat. What's up, Guy? Got here late. Did I miss anything rapping? No, you didn't miss anything. Just a crazy bidding war for some test pressings from John and Six Banga. These guys are some pretty serious vinyl record collectors, and I think they might have put a price that I cannot refuse, as said by the Mafia guys. Drunk Dunk, we need him. I don't think Drunk Dunk has joined in the live stream yet. He's I think it might be nighttime in Australia. I don't know what time it is, but no, I haven't seen him. He was in one the other day, so that's cool. But yeah, also, I'm an amateur collector. Yeah, I would say me too. I don't know. I think I'm a noob collector after these serious guys here. Like, I don't have any serious first pressings or anything, but he's pissed mostly, I believe. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what he's mad about. Just being in Australia, hanging out with the wallabies and the kangaroos and stuff. We do collect up and coming artists. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't. So you guys are friends on a personal level. I just thought you guys knew each other from just YouTube and stuff. So that's really cool. That's awesome. John Ward asks, "Are you coming back to Weirton before August 19th to record anything?" Yes, I will be back. I don't have anything. I don't have anything recorded or any recording set up with Rick or anything. But I will be back for 4th of July weekend because we're doing that Club Cafe show in Pittsburgh. We're doing that, so I'll be back Friday through Sunday. We were trying to pick up a show Saturday night in like a surrounding city of Pittsburgh, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I reached out to a couple venues in Youngstown, Ohio, Akron, and then Cleveland. And then John Panaccio, he was reaching out too to see if we can find anything, but nothing. So we're probably going to end up just hanging out. One of the things we thought about doing was I talked to Matt and Tony Marino. We were thinking about putting a float in the Weirton 4th of July parade, if that's even happening this year. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but we've done that in the past. We would just play on the back of a truck bed and like in an old Ford 350 or something. But we were thinking about maybe getting the red F450 or something and having the trailer with like that and a road grader and us playing on the back. But it's something we'd like to try to do for 4th of July. But that's where we will be. So that's pretty cool. Weirton Parade is Saturday, July 1st. Okay, cool. John, you wouldn't happen to know if is it Terry Weigel that's putting the parade together this year? Because that's who I emailed to like years ago. But no worries if you don't. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I think I want to do that. My dad has a cool Volkswagen Beetle too, but I don't think we could play on a flatbed being pulled by a 60s Beetle. But that's something we were thinking about doing. So yeah, I didn't realize that. Very cool. So John or Guy says you guys both collect up and coming artists. So that's cool. That's really cool. I know. Was it you or Drunk Dunk that mentioned like Red Money or something before? You wouldn't know that information. Okay, no worries, John. Thank you though. Appreciate the information for July 1st. But yeah. So I think Guy or Drunk Dunk once mentioned or made a comment in a video that we were playing. He's like, why are you guys playing with Red Money? Aren't they from like France or something? I'm like, yeah, that's a good observation. So Red Money is a band that they lived in Nashville up until the pandemic, and they moved back to France. But they were living here. They're kind of garage rocky, kind of band is similar to our style. We played a show with them. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Mrs. K says hi. She's a fan too. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. Very cool. But yeah, no, that's cool that you guys are huge supporters of the up and coming music. Obviously, being an up and coming artist, I've been an up and coming artist my entire career. we could say, but really things have been kind of coming together in the past like year or two, which is kind of like amazing because it kind of feels like the whole like first like 7 or 8 years of my career are just kind of like there to just as a wash. But it's like one of those things. You gotta cut your teeth playing those clubs, and Isaac from the Weird Sisters said, I might get demonetized for this. He's like, but you gotta eat shit for a while before anything good happens, and that's the truth of it, man. You gotta play in clubs to nobody, clubs where the venues that don't pay you anything, clubs where the venues say, hey, you gotta pay our production fee, and you didn't make any money, so you gotta pay out of pocket. Like we've been there, we've done that, so it's kind of nice that we're starting to get some nicer shows booked. We've had the chance to open up for Crack the Sky a couple of times. I think we've opened up for Crack the Sky 3 times in Pittsburgh. Just do what you're doing and you will get there. Hey, thanks for the advice, Six Banga. We are. I mean, there's no stopping. That passion is in my heart. It's in Johnny's heart. It's in Tony's heart too. Sometimes he just needs a little bit more motivation, but that's all right. We love him. Tony Marino and I have been playing. He was sitting next to me when I was 12 years old, upstairs or in my dad's house, or downstairs in his mom's basement, playing guitar. So, we're gonna do big things, and we're getting there. And John Panaccio too. He has the fire for sure, fire in his heart. I've known John since I was in first grade. Going to Sunday school at St. Joe's in Weirton, and it's actually crazy. So John Panaccio and me go way back. So I don't know if you guys know this. So Johnny, he's the bass player in the band. So here's me, and here's Johnny. But anyway, so John Panaccio and I both grew up in Weirton. He went to where I went to Madonna, which is the two high schools in Weirton. And John Panaccio's dad, John Panaccio Sr. and my dad, they knew each other growing up in the neighborhood, and they went together. And my dad and Johnny's dad went to their first, or I don't know if it was Johnny's dad's first concert, but it was my dad's first concert. They went and saw like AC/DC in the 70s, and they rode in the back of a pickup truck together to the concert, and they saw that, and they were good friends, and that's type of stuff. But then it goes back even further. So my grandfather, Pasquale Longhi, and I'm Pasquale Longhi too. I just go by Vinnie because it's easier. And John Panaccio's grandfather, so this is 3 generations here. They came over on the same boat from Italy, and they lived in the same boarding house in Weirton when they immigrated from Italy to the United States, in the 50s. So they lived together. I think it was Tommy Grossi's house. They lived there. He was an older Italian guy that came over. He's maybe 10 years older than them. But they lived together and worked together. So that's 3 generations of our families knowing together. So it's so crazy that Johnny's family is sort of the same village as my family, the village of Sora in Italy. So it's a very small village in Italy. I think it's like an hour outside of Rome. I've never been to Italy myself. I want to get there. Johnny goes like every other year, maybe once a year. I don't know. But yeah, he can speak Italian. I can't. I wish I could, but that's all right. But yeah, that goes to show you how much family is in the band. We're 3 Italian guys, me, Tony Marino, and then Johnny. And then obviously everybody else that supports with the album, Forrest and James. There's a little bit of Italian in them too, but not as closely knit as the three core members of us. So it's a really, really cool stuff. Sorry to go off on a tangent there. You guys got it. Need to connect with the contract. Yeah, I agree. We need to find a good contract that can help take this stuff to the next level. Really trying to get that there. And then obviously we couldn't do it without Rick Wachowski. He's the glue for everything. He's a great producer. I know John Ward and I are both huge Crack the Sky fans, but Guy, Six Banga, any of you guys else, this record, Crack the Sky, listen to this. It's from like 1976. These guys were vetted by Zappa. They opened for Zappa in the 70s. Like, to do that, like, Zappa had to like you. He had to be okay with you. And you know how like strict and like crazy he was. But seriously, that album's awesome. And then obviously Safety in Numbers or other stuff. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, super cool band, huge influence for us. But yeah, let's see here. Oh man, we got a bunch of people. So John Ward says, let me know when you guys are in Weirton recording session at studio. I'd love to sit in on a recording. Yeah, John, definitely come in, be a fly on the wall. I will say that our recording studio sessions with Rick have kind of become more of like a, we've kind of hybridized the whole process. And I think just for efficiency's standpoint, we don't do like a situation as much anymore when we have the 3 of us come in and play all the songs live. Like, you see historically in all these recording sessions, a lot of the stuff, what we do here is we record, I'll record stuff, demos, send the demos to Johnny in Cleveland. He'll add bass to it, and then we'll have Johnny play the drums on it, or we'll have somebody else play the drums on it, Tony or Corey Caruso, who's the session drummer that appeared on this record. A good friend of mine too, Corey. We went to college together. Amazing studio drummer. But yeah, we'll do stuff like that and then knock them out, and then Rick just kind of makes the magic happen. So we've done songs live together in the whole studio, and then bouncing back and forth between me and Johnny, or Johnny and Isaac, and then Rick. There's just so many ways you can do it these days, and but it's fun nonetheless. I was working on a cool song last night I just kind of wanted to mention. So the last song on the record, New Home, is kind of like the oddball or the black sheep from this record, just because this is kind of like a heavier rocking album for us. But New Home is an acoustic song that closes out the record. Last night I just recorded an alternate acoustic version, like a bluegrass style one. I used the mandolin and then the same acoustic on it, but it's super cool. I just sent it to Johnny this morning, and he was like, oh man, this is cool. But I think we're going to try to do some Southern Kentucky bluegrass style harmonies and maybe release that as a single. Maybe we'll do Prestige Pond as a B-side for you Diesel Creek fans out there. But I guess Tim dropped out of the chat. But anyway, going back, very cool stuff. See here. Been busy moving. By the way, thanks for getting the correct address, 10 out of 10. When we get settled, I'll make a video playing Frantic on some very vintage kit. Just need to clear the space first. That's from Guy. Hey, Guy, thanks for the comment. Yeah, congrats again on the new digs, and very cool. I assume your new kit is a nice vinyl record stereo. I'll show you what my vinyl listening situation is. Actually, I'll show it to you right now. It's not very good. You guys are going to make fun of me for it, but I need to get a more of a serious situation here. But again, earlier I showed John, he had the question about the living stereo video. So we actually recorded it right here in this room. This is my living room. And we put this TV right here, and Johnny kind of did his thing here. This is my Star Wars Lego. Not sponsored by Lego or anything. But then, yeah, here's my record setup. This is my wife's 80s Panasonic thing. It sounds not great, but this is a great record. If anybody knows the James Gang, I think they're from Ohio. Oh, here's another great record too. San Francisco guys. Greg Conspiracy. Great stuff. And always the great deals at the record stores too. I love it. This is my whole thing. See, I'm a record collector, but I collect the cheap stuff just because I'm always looking for some random thing for inspiration. Oh, here's my piano too. Press release. This is the stuff that I send to the radio stations and stuff. But cool stuff. Posters. This is my shipping situation set up over here. Little office area, bubble wrap. And then this is the mess that I've been using. Mailed out like 70 copies of records. These are two copies that are my stand here. Those 2 copies, they came in over the weekend. So they are She's a Dancer from Crack the Sky's first album. That is, yeah, that's a great. It's such clever lyrics on that one. She's a Dancer. Again, She's a Dancer is on this thing. I won't give it away, but yeah, listen hard to those lyrics, and they will you'll figure out what it is. If I had to pick a recommendation for a Crack the Sky song, probably my favorite song is "We Want Mine." I think that's off Safety and Numbers, and it's a really cool song. And I'll give you the background because you won't pick up on this as much. But listen to "We Want Mine" by Crack the Sky. And the lyrics are, you got gold on your wrists, and where's my money? Essentially, is what they're asking. We haven't seen any silver since the airplane crash last year. And what they are referring to in that line is, and I think they might have made the record label mad, but Life Song Records was Crack the Sky's record label, and the airplane crash last year was what they're referring to as the airplane crash that unfortunately ended Jim Croce's life, or rest in peace. But he was kind of their golden whatever you call it, the guy that brought in all the money for the record label, because he has a ton of hits. But whenever he unfortunately passed away, it kind of, the record label took a hit, and they weren't able to fund the tours as lavishly, or is not, I would say not even lavishly, but just as helpfully, just like, they went from staying in nice hotels to crappy motels type of thing. So this song is kind of their kind of dig at the record label for, like just saying, we want our money. You guys are keeping it all for yourselves type of thing. So, but I don't know, different Crack the Sky songs have, different Crack the Sky fans have different opinions of the song. I don't care if it's a dig at who or what. It's a great song, and I love it, I don't know what the situation is with Live Song and Crack the Sky now, but yeah, I would imagine that, I think they are kind of still like an archive record label. I'm not sure, but I will tell you, my opinion is I probably wouldn't be looking for a record deal from Live Song. That's just me. I'd rather keep it independent or find like a nice record company. Cool. Guy says, check out if you like 70s prog rock vibe, maybe Sensational Alex. Somebody else recommended the Sensational Alex Harvey Band on the last live stream I did. I got to write that down to listen to that. But yeah, I love 70s rock. 70s rock is probably my favorite. Prog rock is awesome. 60s stuff too, but early 70s. Once you start getting like to the 80s, I'm not a big fan of like hair metal or anything like that. Sensational Alex Harvey. And then Great Stone Eater. Cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. No, very cool. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of that 70s stuff. I love Slade. I'm sure Guy knows who Slade is just because he's over there in the UK. But a lot of people in America don't know who Slade is, which is like crazy to me because I think they're amazing. Yeah, Britain. Okay, Great Britain. But yeah, that's yeah, I didn't. It's crazy how some bands will pop off in a country, but then in other countries, it's like no. Sadly, old enough to remember it on the radio. Well, I mean but what era of Slade? Because they had that '80s song that was like super popular, but like their early stuff in the '70s, like that's back then too. I don't know. Radio is still popular here in the United States to an extent. It's really tough to get your song on the radio these days. They love Slade in Mexico. Man, I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I've never been to Mexico. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely on my list. It seems pretty convenient to get there. Obviously, just drive south. Oh, okay. Your wife lived in Mexico for a while. That's awesome. An Iron Maiden. Okay, interesting. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's crazy. But again, yeah, any people in the United States that don't listen to Slade, listen to Slade. They're awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. So that's since we got people on the chat here, I want to know where everybody's from. We got Guy who's chiming in the chat. He's from Great Britain. John Ward, we're in West Virginia. I've known John for a while. Do you play the ukulele? Good question, John. Oxford. Okay, cool. Yes, I do play the ukulele. I play "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" by Tiny Tim, and that's it. That's the only song I know how to play on the ukulele. I do think that it's something that I could probably play a little bit more, especially now that I've been playing the mandolin a lot more, just because it's just a smaller neck. But I don't know. I think I prefer the mandolin to ukulele. I know Rick loves the ukulele, and I know who else loves the ukulele. George Harrison loved the ukulele, and yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm more of a mandolin guy. It's a more. I kind of like the. I've been really getting into the Maine. Okay, very cool. I have what part of Maine are you from, Sixbank? I have one friend in Nashville who's from Brunswick or something. Pretty good friend of mine here. I don't know if you know Taylor Berryman by chance, but yeah, he lives in Nashville too. He's a session bass player, podcast guy. But yeah, ukulele. I don't know, John, do you play ukulele? I'm curious. How many people are in your band? That's a great question. Dirt Mountain, Earthworks. So there are 3 people in the band, typically. We usually do 3-piece band. It's myself, John Panaccio, Tony Marino, Naples. Okay, cool. So Naples in Florida, too. I guess the weather is probably very different than Naples in Maine, I would think. But yeah, going back to Dirt Mountain Earthworks question, 3 people in the band, myself, Tony Marino, John Panaccio. However, sometimes when we go live, my younger brother, Nick Longi, he'll play rhythm guitar for us, so that means 4. And then other times we might add in a keyboard player to make 5. Not all the time, just because we're more of like a 3-piece rock trio type of band. But there are some songs that I do play piano on, because I play piano as well. Especially our EP from 2015, Here Comes Trouble. I played piano on 2 of the songs, or piano and organ. And if we want to play those songs live, you obviously have to have a piano player. So those times I'll have one of my buddies that's a piano player play. Forrest Mance, shout out. He plays piano with us sometimes. And then also Taylor Miller. He lived in Nashville for a while, but we used him. He's a great honky-tonk style keyboard player. We were covering great song, Guy, and John will definitely know this song, but Crippled Inside by John Lennon. We were covering that, and Taylor Miller, shout out to Taylor, he did a great job of doing that honky-tonk style piano. Very cool. So John says, I started playing ukulele at WVU the same time I purchased my harmonica and a brace set. So everybody that doesn't know what a brace set is for harmonica, that's the thing that goes around your neck, and you can, like the Bob Dylan thing, you can play and do that. So yeah, very cool. That's one thing I never really had much of an interest in, is harmonica. There are some classic songs with harmonica, Beatles and Stones that have harmonica in it. But yeah, I've never really been drawn to that instrument. I know I do appreciate a great harp player. We had Frank Straub play a harmonica for us back over the summer last year. He did a couple songs, sat in with us live. He did the song "Pray." He played harmonica on "Crippled Inside," and then one other of our originals. I forget which one, but yeah, he's a great harmonica player. It's crazy. These serious harmonica guys, they come with like a little amp, like guitar pedals, special microphones, and then a briefcase full of like 50 harmonicas for like different keys and styles and stuff. Mind blown. I didn't realize it was that serious with that. But yeah, sorry, that's my long-winded answer to Dirt Mountain Earthworks question of 3, but sometimes 5 people in the band. But yeah, the core members are 3. Those are the members that have like influences on the recordings and stuff. But then sometimes, occasionally, keyboard player, occasional harmonica player. I would say rare harmonica player. Frank Straub. If you're watching, I think him and my dad were at the Pittsburgh Pirates game last night. So maybe when we're playing and he's around, we'll do another show there. Cool. Yeah. Great questions, everybody. Oh, man. Very cool. Mr. Tambourine Man. Yeah, it's a great Dylan tune. Is that Dylan or is it the Byrds? I forget who wrote that one. Okay, so what's the plan for the next 95K subs? So, Guy, that's a good question. For those of you that don't know what he's saying, is 95,000 subscribers. So, right now we have like 5,000 subscribers. If we hit 95,000 subscribers, we're going on tour to Europe and possibly Australia. Definitely Europe. I would say definitely Europe, and then a huge possibility of Australia. I would hope at 95,000. Yeah, 2024. Yeah, I hope so. I'll quit my job. I would quit my job to do a tour. That's amazing. But yeah, yeah. So thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. All that stuff helps with the algorithm, with getting more people to find us. And the more people that find us, the better chance we have at like having a record label or management agency that says, hey, we'll book you a tour. That's ultimately what I want, because that's the toughest thing to do. Hey, Colin Spencer made it. What's up, Colin? How's it going? Cool. Yeah, so that's cool. So when is the Semi-Euro tour, Prague and Carrot? Oh, Guy, thank you for offering to put us up, when we come over to Europe. That's awesome. Appreciate you. Hey, Colin, not much, man. It's a Sunday afternoon, and just doing another live stream. Just obviously in honor of our record. Play That Rock. No, not Play That Rock and Roll. Frantic. Play That Rock and Roll was last year's record. But yeah, just doing another live stream Q&A. We had a bunch of cool questions come through by everybody. But yeah, just showing off the record here. Oh, I got to tell you, something else crazy that happened, Colin. So we had Six Banga and John Ward in the comments. They were going crazy over, they're having a bidding war. Sorry, they were having a bidding war over my last 2 test pressings. So these are the 2 I was keeping for myself. One for me, one for my dad. But this is number 4 or 5. And then this one is number, I don't know. What is this? This is 2 of 5. I sold 5 of 5 yesterday. I put it up. Yesterday or Friday. I put it up Friday for the test pressing on my website. And I was like, okay, I'll just put it up there for like $60 or $70. Instantly sold. I was like, oh crap. Like, that's crazy. Like, so I didn't realize that test pressings were like a valuable thing. Like I gave one to Rick Wachowski, the producer, just because I figured like it was like a nice Christmas present, because we got these test pressings right before Christmas. So I got to take them to Weirton to listen to them and then approve them, and then gave one to Rick because he's done an amazing job with, helping develop us as artists. And like I said, I wouldn't be here today without Rick Wachowski, just because he's just helped me so much, with musical and life too, just because he's just a great person, a great person to look up to. Very involved in the community with St. Paul's Church and everything. Just an awesome human being. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Cool. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Oh, I didn't even realize House of the Rising Sun is actually a Bob Dylan song. What? That's crazy. Yeah, so I had no idea. I thought that was just the Animals wrote that song. Very interesting piece of information, John. I'm not a huge Dylan fan. Never really got into his stuff. I like that song Hurricane, but yeah, I don't know. People might hate me for that, but yeah, I never got into Dylan. Never really saw the appeal to that. Same with Bruce Springsteen. Tons of people go see Bruce Springsteen all the time, and I've seen him live. And you know, it's a good show and everything, but it just goes on forever. And I don't know. I just not into Bruce Springsteen. I don't know if someone's gonna ostracize me for that, but it's just not my taste. Love the Rolling Stones though, man. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Very cool. Yeah. These live streams are awesome. Cool. Did you see how it was the first view on the YouTube Frantic thing? No, I missed that, Colin. I missed that. That's cool. Was that the what was the YouTube Frantic thing? Oh, that was the live stream from yesterday or something. But yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah. So yeah. So these are what a test pressings are. This is the only records that we have that are black are these 180 gram records here. They're like they say like. What do they say? They say test pressing. They have our matrix number, which is that TVL number, and then they say Vinyl Lab, Nashville, Tennessee. That's the place that pressed them or whatever. Cool. Okay. So Guy K asks. Oh man, we got a lot of people in the comments now. Guy K asks, can you tell us how you guys create the songs? Jamming till something evolves, someone sit and write the lyrics, and then work it out. What's the score? So, Guy, that's a great question. Every single song that has ever appeared on any record from Semi-Supervillains starts out me in my dad's basement or in the side room of my house. That's it. And what I do is I record the demo and I record the lyrics, and then I will call one of the guys up, and then we'll go over to Rick, and then we'll record it or whatever. But that's usually after I recorded like just a scratch rhythm guitar take, and then we'll kind of build the song around my original demo. With the exception of Come On Pain, Give Me Sympathy, which is like one of the songs off our first record. That song, I had the idea, but then John Pinocchio came over and he played the drums and we kind of worked it out together. But that's when he kind of worked out the rhythm there. But yeah, every song I pretty much just lock myself in my writing area of my house, and then the guys kind of add to it all. So that's that. And then, but yeah, that's. And then obviously when we're in the studio, like Rick will make suggestions and be like, oh, you should try this chord instead of that chord, or you should try maybe this lyric or that lyric because, you know, for whatever reason, like that one sounds cliche, or this one, it, you know, the rhyme sounds forced or something. So definitely always, whoa, I think we got some kind of spam guy in the comments here. I don't think... Don't pay attention to that. Man, we got a ton of people watching commenting now, so let me see here. John says, I will not hate you for the Dylan Springsteen comment. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Let's see. Does Matt pay you to use his music? Do you pay Matt from Diesel Creek to advertise your songs? So Dirt Mountain Earthworks. I think you had a question earlier about how I know Matt. So I'll go back to that one. I do remember that one. So he asked, are you related to Matt from Diesel Creek? No, we're not related. We're just really good friends from high school. And then that's how we're doing it. And then the does Matt pay you to use his music, or do you pay Matt from Diesel to advertise your songs? So Dirt Mountain Earthworks. So how that worked out is because Matt and I are such great friends back in the day, before Matt's channel was anything. He was like, hey, I would be more than happy to pay you for the songs. I said, hey, don't worry about it. Just if you ever start making money from your music, just give me a slice of the pie. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a big piece. It's just, just a nice thing. And you know what, Matt has been very generous with always taking care of me and giving me a slice of the pie. So that's how we worked it out. You know, it's not a set number or anything like that, but you know, he takes care of me for doing a good work. And you know, for me, it's I always say it's just something I just love to do so much. I think it really helps. To me, it's just a really fulfilling thing to do, is to make music and have actual people listen to it. Because before, like, I don't think half of the people in the comments or right now would even be a you know, be a fan of the band if it wasn't for Matt from Diesel Creek, just because it is so hard to figure out, to carve out your niche in like the world today. But with Diesel Creek, that was our unique way of kind of like growing ourselves and getting more ears on our music and everything. But yeah, it's something I just love to do. Oh my God, what the heck is going on with these comments? This is not a, are you seeing these comments? This is crazy. Okay, yeah. So Tim says he was at Kenny B's. Tim, I was at Kenny B's over the weekend. That's the new place. That's the old Broadview Club, right? That's yeah. Let me see. I need to block somebody. Who do I gotta block? Okay, I'm not seeing. There was somebody in there that was commenting some pretty terrible things, but I think they're gone now. Okay, yeah. Okay, don't block Colin. I blocked Colin. Happiness and calmness here. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, Colin is not a spammer. I know Colin because he's a real person. He's not a bot or anything. So, but okay, yeah. I think whatever you guys did, you guys took care of blocking it. So that's good. Good. But anyway, yeah, I was there. What was it? Friday night. So what I did, Tim, I was at I should have posted something about this, but so Friday nights, the Farm Bar in Hanover, right down there past Ionettes, has a jam night with the Zucchero brothers, the Zouk band. Every Friday, they have a jam night there, and I went there with my buddy Mikey, and we jammed a couple songs. We sat in with them and played a couple of blues songs. We did some Stevie Ray. What else did we do? I don't know. But I brought my telly, and we played there. And then afterwards, we finished up there at about 11:30. And then my buddy Mikey and I, we went down to the old Broadview, which is Kenny B's now, I believe. Guy from Burgestown owns it. But that place is nice. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, in West Virginia, my hometown, which Tim and John are from, they are both, this bar, the Broadview, is just a bar that's been in Wheaton for a long, long time. It's an old watering hole. They used to have live music there, but now they redid it. They got a new owner, and it's very nice in there. So very cool. Yeah. My buddy Dave even sent the vid from the farm. Wait, so your buddy Dave was at the farm whenever I was there? That's crazy. Colin Spencer's channel is cloned. Oh, man. This is crazy. All right. So I see the guy I need to block, I think. Oh, wait. No, it said... It's saying Jesus. To me, I'm seeing it. Jesus is in the comments, but I think he's getting blocked automatically by YouTube. So that's such a weird thing. Kind of ruining the vibe here. I'm not loving this. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's. It pops up and it goes away. That's kind of crappy. I wish YouTube would do something about that. Yeah. No, I can't repeat that either. If I said that out loud, I would get to. Whoa! I just saw that one. That is not okay. Holy crap. I don't know if anybody is seeing the comments here, but I think it's yeah, let's ignore it. There you go. Holy crap. This is not okay. Favorite joke. I don't know. I don't know what my favorite joke is, but I don't have a favorite joke. That's just put me on the spot, man. All right. Yeah, I guess YouTube is doing a good job with helping us out here, blocking these people coming through the comments, but they're getting deleted, so that's good. Um, Sorry everybody, I don't know what the heck this is. Yeah, no, kind of upsetting. Kind of upsetting. These comments are coming through here, but that's all right. Appreciate everybody that's a real person and not a bot, not a bot or a spammer on the comment sections. I appreciate you for being real because that's what I'm trying to be here is real too. So that's cool. But yeah, let's see here. So do you guys tour in the U.S. much? So yes and no. Before the pandemic, we would do a lot. We would tour down through as far as like Austin, San Antonio, Texas. We did the South by Southwest, which is that major music festival now. Huge stuff. I think whenever we played there in 2016 or 2016, I think we played there. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were the keynote speakers. So that was a pretty crazy festival. We played some great showcases down there. There was one showcase we played with Micah Nelson and Lucas Nelson, which are two of Willie Nelson's sons. So that was a lot of fun. Yes, I am Italian. My dad is Italian, and my grandfather, he was an immigrant. They came through, But yeah, we're all Italian. Vinnie, Tony, Johnny, but yeah. We tour. We try to tour as much as possible. But with that, do you live with PA and with Matt? So Dirt Mountain Earthworks. I actually live in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where I'm streaming from you right now. I did live in the town right next to Matt's town. We went to high school in the same town. That's Weirton, West Virginia, and he lived right across the state line there in Pennsylvania. I don't have a VPN. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I guess you could call it that. So that's what our that's where we're from. Yeah, Nashville's nicer than our hometown. I do love my hometown, Weirton, West Virginia. Don't get me wrong. It's just if you're trying to have a career in music, you kind of have to move to a music city just because there's only like 3 or 4 bars you can play at, and those bars are only open like Friday, Saturday. But yeah, John and Tim, they know the bars that I play at in Weirton. But I try to play there more often. I'm trying to play there more often. I used to play there all the time. We used to play the Victorian Hall, which is Bubba's on Pennsylvania Avenue in Weirton. Right across the street there was Legends. That place hasn't been open for a long time. What the heck? Somebody doesn't like Italians here. This is weird. Oh, man. I blocked it. Holy crap. Yeah, very weird. Very weird. Hey, I just blocked it, so I think we're okay, but that's crazy. Yeah, the Russian spam bot people. This is such a weird thing. This is probably my 5th or 6th live stream. First time ever had spammers on, so that's kind of crazy. I guess that we're relevant enough. Yeah. So we are playing the Madonna Picnic down at the Serbian Picnic Grounds in Weirton, West Virginia, on August 19th. So Tim, if you're around, John's gonna be there, and then I think David and Mrs. B, they'll be there too. So that'll be really cool. But yeah. Oh my gosh, these people that blocked. Somebody doesn't like Italians here. That's okay. All right. Somebody just doesn't want to. Just wants to ruin the live stream, ruin the fun for everybody. But yeah, I just blocked them and banned them. I think they're just creating new accounts and just popping back into the live stream. Nothing better to do on a Sunday afternoon than ruin a live stream, man. They really killed my momentum here, Feeling kind of weird now. But let's see if I missed any comments. There was a lot of spam comments going on in there. See if there's any like actual questions that people asked. So Tim, your buddy Dave, was he actually at the farm the other night whenever I was there? I'm curious. I think there was a guy, Dave, I was talking to there actually. So that's crazy. If you might know that guy Dave. That's Dave. He kind of looks like Dave. He kind of looked like Ben Roethlisberger. Actually, I forget his last name, but yeah, that is crazy. You know. I joke about the Semi-Supervillains taking inspiration from the so wide range of musical influences. Is this intentional, or just reflects a huge? Oh man, yeah, Dave Neal. That's what his name was. Yeah, tell him I said what's up. That's cool. I just met him there. So yeah, so yeah, no, the wide range of musical influences is intentional or just reflects a huge interest in music. A little bit of both. Living in Nashville, you know, I'm around a lot more bluegrass music, so anything with like the mandolin, acoustics, and stuff, and then also, you know, because rock is my what my heart is. You know, what you hear on the new record, that's what I like the best. But that's all the bluegrass stuff that you guys hear. That was stuff that, you know, I started making for Matt for Diesel Creek just to give him a variety. And I really got into it. You know, I bought a mandolin one day for $20, and then I also decided to, you know, just continue recording the mandolin after we got a great, what do you call it? A great amount of, you know, people interested in the mandolin music. So that was stuff that I wanted to wanted to do with, but there was a. But yeah, that's that. And then, like I said, being in Nashville, so I guess three things inspires me. Yes, I am inspired by a lot of musical genres. I do have a wide range of taste. Second, people in Diesel Creek need me, or Matt asked me to make different variety music, so his channel has some different stuff. And then the third thing is being in Nashville, there's just a ton of musical varieties around. So those are the three things that makes me make a lot of different type of musical genres and everything. Yep, white goatee. That's Dave. He kind of looks like Ben Roethlisberger. It's a little bit shorter. So yes, I do remember Kurt Lehman from the pawn shop in Weirton, Prestige pawn shop in Weirton, West Virginia. Kurt was an amazing guitar player. Pawn shop's still open. His son Josh runs it. But I bought my first electric guitar off of Kurt, which was a Strat copy, and then I bought my acoustic guitar my only acoustic guitar that I have off Kurt, and then my 12-string acoustic off Kurt as well. So that's those are the three guitars I bought off Kurt. But yeah, I was just actually at the pawn shop on Friday, right before I went over to see Mrs. B, and Tim saw me. But I went over there Friday to the pawn shop right before, and then later that night I was at the farm bar jamming, playing some electric guitar, and then I guess Colin's friend Dave saw me there, which is just that goes to show you how close knit of a town Weirton is. You know, you go one place and a bunch of people, you know, you're just one step removed from everything. That's what I love about my hometown of Weirton. You know, it's just a really sweet place to grow up, just an amazing place to grow up. You know, I'm really blessed to be able to, you know, live there, you know, and then still visit there now too, even though I live in Nashville. But yeah, very cool. Let's see here. Yeah, Kurt Lehman. Yep, Kurt Lehman. Bone Daddy. You got to check out the Bone Daddy stuff. Just type in Kurt Lehman and Bone Daddy. You can see him playing at the Weirton Event Center. He played there pretty recently, so, or not recently, probably about 9 or 10 years ago. But the videos are on YouTube. You can still watch. Great stuff, you know, them playing. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, there is a lot of fun stuff happening. A lot of fun stuff happening every day in Nashville, and you know, that's what we try. I try to stay I'm trying to stay relevant in Nashville by continuing to play live here, and then also trying to stay relevant in a lot of the places we played over the past 10 years, past decade. Too. So it's just it's tough to try to be two places at once. You know, especially when Nashville's is 8.5 hours away from my hometown too. So You guys need to have a jam in Matt's new building. Yes, we do. I was there over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and it's his shop is full of all of his stuff. I think he was replacing the drive shaft in his Humvee. So I mean that thing's huge. It takes up so much space, and he had the cab off of his auto car just sitting on the floor there. No, I don't have any moderators in the chat. I don't know how to do that. I'm a YouTube noob. That's how the gamers say it. So that's what we got there. But yeah, I think we're gonna try to do this summer when we go home. Maybe for July, when I'm back home for 4th of July, we'll try to do that at Matt's and do like a little live stream thing out there. Maybe we'll too. I've been trying to get Matt to do the live stream thing too. I think it'd be really cool if he did like a Q&A. The nice thing about me with, having like a smaller channel, like I can actually have a conversation with like a group of like, 7 to 10 people. But for Matt, just with like his size and everything, there'd probably be a million people just asking like the same questions and he would just get frustrated. So, but I think like almost like a moderated Q&A would be cool. And like if he, I don't know, I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool for him to do. Yeah, I don't know. But I think I'm going to get off here. These, unfortunately, all these spammers have kind of killed my energy, man. It's kind of sad to see the hateful things sent by, whether they're bots or people. But I don't know. Plug Rock and Roll as well. It's a real standout album in my opinion. Okay, I will Play That Rock and Roll. So Play That Rock and Roll is our album from 2022, and it is a Southern rock album that I recorded between the years in the year 2020 and then 2021, and then we released it right at the top of the year 2022. I recorded it with my friends here in Nashville, and then John Panaccio, and then Rick Wachowski served as the executive producer. But if you're a fan of anything like Greta Van Fleet or any of those like newer rock bands that have that like Dirty Honey, you'd be into that album. It got a ton of radio airplay. Sirius XM picked up some of the songs. It has like a little bit of a rockabilly flair to it with the songs like Lick a Toad and Snowplow Man. But yeah, Lick a Toad, that's probably a cool track that needs to get some more love. It's actually, I lived in Austin, Texas for a minute there, and it was just kind of like a ramble of me driving from Georgetown down 35 to Austin on the way to a show. So a lot of fun, great Southern rock record. But yeah, check it out. We don't have it on vinyl, unfortunately. It's only available on CD and then digital streaming. For those of you that do know, and most of you do know, Frantic is our first album we've ever done on vinyl record. I'd like to go back and press Play That Rock and Roll to vinyl. What I would do in that situation, I would do the record. It's 8 songs, and then I would add the Live at Trashman studio session to it as well to make it so you have a live version of Pray, Play That Rock and Roll, and Joyride. And I think Joyride and Pray are amazing recordings for that. And then I would have Rick Wachowski remix everything and remaster everything because I mixed that record myself. So that's why it kind of sounds a little bit more vintage. But yeah, Play That Rock and Roll. I'd like to get that pressed to vinyl. If I could sell some more of these records of Frantic, I would get those made. But like I said, I got to recoup some of the money. I'm in the hole for, I think just for the production of the records, was close to 4,000 CDs, another 500. And then the promo videos I did was, they were a lot too. So once I start getting out of the hole a little bit, then I'll start thinking about repressing an older record. But I'm always looking forward to the next thing. So I do have this next record pretty much in the can. It's power pop. If you like bands like Big Star, Cheap Trick, it's more in that vein. You would really be into it. But I want to get that pressed to vinyl, but I don't have like an album cover. That's like a year from now that would have. But yeah, I don't know. Play That Rock and Roll, first issue on vinyl, Christmas this year sounds like it could be. But yeah, if you know anybody that likes Frantic, let them know about it. Tell them I got the records for sale. They got sweet orange vinyl for the test pressings, and we got some serious vinyl collectors that are after the test pressings too. So if we could sell some test pressings for good money, I think that could lead to another one of our previous records getting done to vinyl. I think our first album, Tricks, deserve an album too. Tricks was our first record. It's a green and pink, And if you haven't listened to that one, it's a cool album, produced by Rick Wachowski. But if I would do that one, I would do a nice pink record for it. I've always wanted to do that, but that's back whenever I released that when I was 21, and I was like actually broke then. So it was lucky that my dad forked over the money for me to get CDs even made for that. So thank you, Dad, for that. But there would never have even been CDs because I was about to sell a guitar to get CDs made for that. My dad was like, "No, I'll pay for it." I was like, "Thank you, Dad." But yeah, it was $1,000. Hey, Six Bango, we'll see you. You'll see you later. Thanks for joining the live chat. But yeah, that's cool. No, I haven't sold any Frantic albums to Australia yet. Nothing for Frantic has gone to Australia. I've sent stuff to a bunch to the UK, to Great Britain, and then to where else did I do? Oh, I did one to Costa Rica. That was cool, and then Norway and Scandinavia. That was really cool. I love sending records all over the world. It's really fun. I like shipping up. I like packing up every record myself. It's really fun for me. So, Black Letter is my favorite track from Tricks. Hey, John, thank you. That might be my favorite one too. That's the first song I ever recorded with Rick. Tony Marino did the drums, and Tony Marino sang backup. Okay. Tell DD I'll send him one. Let me know. All right, cool. Yeah, I need to know his address and stuff. I don't know if he's ever gotten anything. I don't even know what that guy's name is, to be honest. I just refer to him as Drunk Dunk. But yeah, he's him and you are the guaranteed always the people that are commenting on every video. So I appreciate you guys. And Johnny, it doesn't go unnoticed. Johnny Pinocchio is always joking about it too. So very cool, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool that we have some super fans all over the world in our hometown. You know, places that places that I'd love to visit someday, and then places that where my heart is. Obviously, we're referring to my hometown there. So very cool stuff. But yeah, I think that's a good time to wrap it up. I think I want to go and write and record some new music today. I want to continue working on that version of New Home, the bluegrass version. So I will see you guys later. Again. For those of you that just tuned in or are watching this live, Vinnie here, signing off, doing this in honor of our record Frantic, which is out now. You can check it out. Pick up a copy on CD or the nice first pressing orange vinyl. We got that there. And for any of you vinyl aficionados, we have the test pressings. I got two copies here, maybe one copy. I don't know. They're both my personal copies. I'm not crazy about selling them, but for you guys that want it, send me an email. Be more than happy to work out a deal for you to keep the fire going. Anyway, peace out. Peace and love to everybody. Peace and love. All right. We'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of